What's up, beautiful humans, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about the Oahu Food Tour that I have so anxiously been waiting to put out for you, so let's talk about it. Alright, my Maui food tour, if you didn't see that, is going to be right here. If you are heading to Maui, go check that out. I did a very long video about food because that is what brings everyone together, and it's just, delicious food is just such a great time to have on vacation. So if you wanted to check that out, it's right here. But we're going to talk about Oahu, and I'm going to make this video shorter because there's so much to choose from on the island of Oahu, and I'm going to do my top 5. So these are in basically an order. The top 3 definitely aren't in order, but I couldn't decide between 4 and 5. They're kind of almost similar and interchangeable, but they're definitely must-dos. Number 5 is Leonard's Bakery. Leonard's is kind of in downtown Honolulu, almost in the Waikiki area, so if you're in that area, it is not a far drive at all. They do have a very small parking lot, so be aware of that, but Leonard's is a must-do. It has been serving Hawaii for decades. It is mainly the reason that they even have malasadas to begin with, and they are delicious. They're hot. Obviously, you can take some to go to warm them up in your room, and they are just perfect. They have filled ones. They have other pastries as well. They have drinks. They have a lot of options. They have merch, which is not expensive at all, which is a great price. And it's just a great time to go at the beginning of your trip. So if you did want to take some to go with you, you have like a breakfast or a snack with you. But malasadas aren't as sweet as a donut, which I really enjoy because I don't like super sweet things. And they're fluffy. They're almost like a cloud. They're crispy on the outside, perfectly fried. And it was just so good. I would highly recommend the cinnamon and the regular original sugar. Number 4 is Matsumoto Shave Ice. Shave Ice is a staple in Hawaii. If you have ever even heard of Hawaii, you've heard of Shave Ice. And it's not shaved ice, it's shave ice. It's very different, and it is almost like eating a cloud. It is so soft, so silky, and Matsumoto is just fantastic. We went on the way home from the North Shore. I believe that was what we did that day, and there was a pretty long line, but it went really, really quick. It was social distance at the time, but it did go really, really quickly. They have it down to a science. Obviously, they've been there for a lot of time, so they have it down to a science, taking in a lot of people that want to have their delicious stuff. The flavors were powerful. It wasn't like dull at all. We got banana and strawberry, I believe, and we had to get the sweetened condensed milk on top because it was absolutely delicious. And it was just amazing to see them make this so quickly. They packed it in beautifully, and the colors of the syrups were just so cool. And also they have really cool merch in there, a lot of Japanese trinkets, a lot of Japanese inspired things, and we got some to-go bags. They have coolers, like little lunch bags, great things to take to work, to take your lunch to work and things like that, and a great souvenir that also packs really well. But Matsumoto Shave Ice is a must-do. Next up is Seven Brothers. Now, Seven Brothers is a place that I think everyone should go because they have amazing food, and they don't have a lot of seating options, but we found a place to sit and we found a place to enjoy this. I got the deep blue cheeseburger, I believe it was called, and it had a blue cheese sauce on it along with blue cheese crumbles, and the burger was cooked perfectly. And they make in-house chips, which were fantastic. The seasoning on them was so good. It was salty, savory, and the crunch was great. And sometimes you had a little underdone ones, like underdone fries almost. And they were just, it was so good. And they also serve garlic shrimp here, which we found out looking at their menu, because all the shrimp trucks are actually next to Seven Brothers. Seven Brothers is like its own standing location, but all the shrimp trucks like Giovanni's, Jenny's, stuff like that were kind of the block over, and they were packed. So we were like, no, let's go over here, which had a shorter line and a lot of parking actually. And we went over there. The garlic shrimp was so good, and we just enjoyed that. It was overly garlicky, which is perfect. It was cooked perfectly, just soft, not chewy at all, because you don't want chewy shrimp. And the salad that it came with was really refreshing, and it was just such a good plate of food that I would highly recommend the garlic shrimp. at Seven Brothers if you didn't want to wait in line for Giovanni's or anything like that. It's the same kind of thing. They serve it with rice and a salad at Seven Brothers, and they serve with rice and I think mac salad normally at a food truck. But garlic shrimp is a must if you're in Hawaii. It kind of doesn't matter where you get it from, but I highly recommend Seven Brothers for that. Number 2 is Kono's. Kono's is a multi-area, like they have a lot of locations around Oahu. They have one in Waikiki. They have one on the North Shore, which is what we went to. They have one in the Kihei area, I believe, or I don't remember how to pronounce that area that we went to for lunch. But when I tell you that this is the best pork I've ever had in my life, I really mean that. And I'm in North Carolina. They slow cook it for 12 hours. They have a mango barbecue sauce, but if you go for breakfast, they're famous for something called bombers. They're basically breakfast burritos, but like on a steroid level. They have potatoes, which are perfectly cooked, like cued potatoes. They have pork, which was delicious. They have a lot of different options, but as far as your fillings go, but those potatoes and the cheese, obviously they have eggs that go in there, but I don't eat eggs, so like that didn't go in mine. But it was so good. They also hand make their hot sauces, which they had a mango habanero one, and it was so good on that pork in the bomber. It was absolutely delicious. Go early because this place does get a line no matter what, and they do close early sometimes. I'm pretty sure they're not open for dinner in certain locations, so make sure you check which one you're going to do that. But for lunch on our way home from Kualoa Ranch, which if you haven't seen that video right here, I will never say that there are better nachos than these. They had a mango barbecue sauce, like I mentioned before, jalapenos, cheese, that pulled pork that I talked about, super crispy chips, and even sitting under all that stuff, none of them got soggy. It was amazing. And it was just the perfect combination of spicy, of sweet, of savory, of crunchy, and it was just so good, like amazingly good. So I highly recommend Kono's. Number 1, no question, is Marukuma Udon, which is in Waikiki. Waikiki is a area that maybe a lot of people avoid because it's so touristy, but actually I really enjoyed our time in Waikiki, which again, if you haven't seen that, right here. We did a walking tour. We kind of got up early and did that, and it was really fascinating and really interesting. But Marukuma Udon is a kind of cafeteria style quick service udon place. I love udon, ramen, things like that. And this place hand makes their udon. Like you walk in and there's a person making the udon noodles, and then they're perfectly done. They're cooked to order, so it's fresh. The broths are super flavorful and just everything you want. And then they have obviously different types of meat, and you can kind of customize that, but they do have combos. And they also have a great selection of tempura, which was perfectly done. The tempura shrimp was chef's kiss, amazing. And they give you fork if you want it, but they also primarily give you chopsticks. But it was a really great, they give you a ton of it. And this is a place that I think about now that I can't wait to go back to, because it was just so fresh, so good, so savory, everything you want a soup noodle to be. And it was just, oh man, I named this my favorite place because I cannot wait to go back, and I could eat this every day and not have any issues. Right guys, there are so many great restaurants in Oahu. I encourage you to go out and explore those if you've already hit these, but definitely hit these. If you think that I missed one and that I should rank something higher, put it in the description down below. Let's have a chat. Let's go with an honorable mention of Duke's in Waikiki. Super touristy, but also really great food. The service we had was amazing. The view that we had was amazing. So I would give that an honorable mention, Duke's in Waikiki. It was great, the food was delicious, and we had a great time. But let me know down in the comments if you have been to Oahu, or if you plan to and you have other things on your list that I missed, because there's a ton of restaurants, a ton of diversity, a ton of things in Oahu. So let me know down in the comments below. I would love to have a chat. And until next time, guys, be beautiful humans. Bye.